In this video, I'm going to be talking about how to identify cost overruns early so that you can get those back on track. So we're going to use a metric called the CPI, which stands for Cost Performance Index. It's earned value over actual cost. The earned value, you can see here, we'll talk about that a bit. The actual cost is here. We're going to focus on a couple of other costs as well. Your current budget, your actual cost, and your forecast cost. We're going to be going through these in this video and explaining how these work together and how we can use this metric to help us to identify where we're beginning to overrun our cost and identify those early, try to minimize the impact or even fully recover if you can. Let's start with a simple example. So we're going to just pick one of the tasks here. So we'll say it's going to be the example constraint task, and we're going to say that it has a budgeted cost of $200. Okay, and in a previous video we talked about the approved change amount. For an example down here we did in an earlier video was here where they approved a certain amount. These two are added together to give you your current budget. So really you would be going off of your current budget. It's just in this case these two are the same. We don't have any change orders. But anyway, so let me show you where this actual cost came from. In this software, it's going to come either through purchase orders where you're buying material. It could come through subcontracts. If you're building a house, maybe it is a framer. He's going to be taking the material, the lumber that you bought through the purchase orders, say for example, and he's going to be providing labor to construct that into a house. So you'll do that through a subcontract. So both the purchase order and the subcontract in this case would cause an actual cost to occur here. There is a difference between actual cost and committed cost. We talked about that in an earlier video. I won't go through that now. I'll just focus only on after you actually pay for the material, pay the subcontractor, and you incur an actual cost. There is a third way through the software that you could incur an actual cost, and that would be through paying your employees. So for example, let me show you where this $140 came from. So we as an employee said, okay, I charged some hours to that project, the project 2, and I charged 2 hours. He has a certain hourly pay associated with that, and it is for the task, for this particular task. When they enter their time, they can say which task it is associated with, and that's the example constraint here. So let me go back here and show that again. So we'll go to the cost tracker, and you can see it's this task right here, the example constraint, and that's why that 140 is showing up here. Okay, so for this example, you can see that so far we have a current budget of $200. We have an actual cost of 140. So you may look at that and say, oh, okay, well, it's not going so bad, right? I've got a budget of 200. I've only spent 140. I've got $60 left in the budget. I haven't actually gone over my budget yet, so I must be doing fine, right? Well, there's a different aspect that we need to look at this to see whether or not that is the case, and how we can identify early whether we may go over this or not. We end up looking at CPI, but the way we get to that point is we're going to look at earned value, but before we get there, we need to talk a little bit about the percent complete, okay? So just so you know where this is coming from, let's look over at the schedule, and we'll look at the example constraint down here at the bottom. And so I gave it a percent complete of 50, okay? That's where that value is coming from. Let's go back to the cost tracker now. So now you know where this is coming from. So when you say that you're 50% complete with a task and you have a budget of $200, then that means that gives you an earned value so far of $100, okay? Because in this case, it's saying, okay, you're gonna earn at 100% when you've earned everything you can from this. You're 100% complete with this task. Your earned value in that case would be your current budget, which would be $200. Okay, we're halfway there so far. We're saying we've whatever this task is, we've done half of it. Okay, we've done 50% of it. So therefore, we have earned half of this, which is $100. So that's where this number is coming from. Now that we know what earned value is, we can look at CPI. So your CPI is going to be your earned value over the actual cost. So this is going to take this number and divide it by this number, and it's going to give you this. So let's look at that. So say that you've got 100, and then you divide that by 140. And that's where you get the 0.71 from. That's where this number right here is coming from. So what does 0.71 tell us? Are we doing good? Are we doing bad? What does this number even mean? Okay, so let me give you the answer up front. Okay, so the closer you are to 1, the better you're doing. Okay, if you go over 1, you're actually doing even better. But if you're under 1, it's identifying a problem. And the further you go below 1, it's letting you know it's an even larger problem. Okay, the further you go below 1, it's telling you it's an even worse problem. Okay, so actually in this case, 0.71 is really, it's not great. Okay, this is letting you know, hey, this is a flag right here. Something's going on. You need to look at this. Maybe it's a false alarm. In some cases, it will be. But it does give you an indication when you're looking through, hundreds of tasks, going through, a big project. It's nice to have these flags that stick out to you and say, hey, this could be a potential problem here. You may want to look at this. So in this case, let's look and see what's going on here. So we're saying that we have earned $100 so far, right? So what is that telling us? If we keep going at the rate that we're going, then we're going, and we do nothing about it, right? Then we are going to end up spending $280. Why do I say that? Well, if you've spent $140 so far, and you've only completed half of the task, well, in order to get to 100%, you may have to spend $280. Why? Because 140 times 2, which is this number here, the actual cost, times 2. Why do I say times 2? Because you did half of it, right? So if you're going to do the other half, this is going to be times 2. So that would be 280. So then we would put 280 in here for the forecasted cost. And so what's happening here? Then whenever we come over to, if we make this 100%, right? Should we do it? Why not? So we'll make it 100%. Well, now, since I changed that, we're going to have to go back and change this again. We're going to have to go and okay, so now we should have 280. So when we go back, we can see here's the 280 right there. So what's going on? So the CPI didn't change, right? It's the same 0.71 as we had before. We say that we've earned the full budget now. We've completed 100%, and we've earned the full $200. However, we've spent 280, so we've gone over our budget. So when we take the 200 and divide it by 280, we're getting the same 0.71. If we had looked at it and tried to manage it earlier, we may have been able to bring this cost down and hopefully get it to be the final value closer to 200. You remember that the initial value was 140. Well, we wanted to do something. I mean, maybe we could have made it 220. Maybe we could have made it 230, but something below 280, so that we could get the actual cost to be something closer to the earned value. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Please like and subscribe. And to start your free trial today, please follow the link in the description.